Hey guys, welcome to Dee Talk Live on Thursdays. I hope everybody has had an amazing long weekend and we're all recovering, because I think a few people are. It's hilarious. I wanted to start off tonight by saying thank you to everyone for their constant love and support towards the What Dee Thinks family. We really appreciate it, and we love you guys so much. And making it so magnificent for us. I also wanted to thank the Australian Federation of Pondian Association for having me on their talk that we had pre-recorded, on Monday for International Women's Day. I was part of a 5-women panel as a Pondian woman and as a woman who's made such a difference in the Pondian diaspora, which is the environment and where I am originally from. If many of you don't know what a Pontian is, it's a part of a Greek heritage. You can look it up. It's spelled Pontian. So thank you to them for having me on board. I'll probably put that up later on tonight so you guys can have a bit of a squiz. It was a lot of fun. I thank Simela, who is the president of the Australian Federation of Pondian Association. She's amazing. I love her. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity, guys. I really appreciate it. And we are quite excited to also announce that next week will be the second Dee on the Streets live broadcast in Yarraville, which is my old neighborhood. That's where I grew up. And it's going to be amazing. We're having it at Eleni's kitchen and bar there in Yarraville. So the guys have been fantastic enough in order to allow us to have our live broadcast there next week. I will let you guys know next week at what time this will be happening. So please stick around in regards to times and what we will actually be doing, because times have not been confirmed as yet, but they will be with Eleni's Kitchen and Bar next week. So if you're around, if you're in the area, come down. It's set to be an amazing evening and I'm very, very excited. A lot of things are happening down the tracks. We also have an amazing new segment that we are launching in the next couple of weeks, and we are starting with the Style Emporium in Williamstown, which is a fashion boutique. We tend to support small business because small business tends to be struggling, especially throughout these difficult times. And we are on board in collaboration with these guys. So we are doing a new segment called Dee Fashion Lives. If you know anyone who wants to get involved or work with the What Dee Thinks team or myself, tag away, right? The boutique would love to do a live in order to help them promote their business and work with them. So it's going to be amazing next couple of weeks. So all these announcements are coming through. There are a lot more announcements coming through within the next month or so. A lot is happening, which we're very excited about, and we're very humbled and grateful to have you guys on board. So let's get to our topic for tonight, which is so current and it's so relative. And I thought it'll be amazing that we bring it about tonight and we speak about it, because so many people have been bringing it up, and we thought, why not bring it up for tonight? So tonight's topic is about smart devices and how have they made a difference in society throughout the negatives and the positives. So have they made us lose human interaction? What have they done in order to change our lives? Have they changed them for the better, or have they changed them toward the negative? So a lot has happened, and especially throughout my experience and my upbringing. So when I was a lot younger, I remember being exposed to computers at the age of 10 and being taught by one of the ladies that my parents actually used to work for. So my parents used to work at the for Australia Post, sorry, and I used to be there, and she somewhat used to look after me, and she used to actually teach me how to use computers, and I was amazed at how you could search for something because the internet just came into effect at that time. And it was really interesting, and I was so like, oh my God, you can actually search for things and see where things are. But the Google wasn't there yet. And the other search engines weren't highly developed as yet. But that came later. So it was quite simple, it was quite easy, and it was exactly what we needed at that stage. Now, in regards to technology, it's come so far that in a way it's quite detrimental and a bit dangerous, I believe. I understand it's an amazing tool for marketing, for business, and for communicating maybe with those that we haven't communicated with for a very long time. But it's also a tool in order for these types of companies and outside exterior persons to try and control us as well. And we're not going to get into who it is or blah, blah, blah. It's just my personal opinion. Everybody has their own personal opinion, and that's great. Thank you to everybody for joining me tonight. I can see your beautiful comments and your lovely emojis, and I love you all so much. It means the world to me, you know that it does. So that's why I thought we'd go into it, we'll delve into the idea and pretty much talk about it, because nowadays that human interaction is no more. It's disappeared, and it's quite sad, and it really, really does affect each and every one of us, because it's something that used to be somewhat about the feeling. I even spoke about it in regards to writing a text message, where now you can put voice to text. So us being reliant on a device and being lazy, because we're put in a position where it's consistently, like our lives are consistently on the go. So go, 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 go. And we're not able to sit back and relax, when in reality we have all the time in the world. Why wouldn't we have all the time in the world? You know, than to actually be worried about, I need to do this and I need to do that. You know, before the feeling was different, because everything we were doing was somewhat from our soul, from our from inside of us. Whereas now it is a lot more robotic, and it's like, okay, I have to do this right now. I have to send this message and an email and blah, 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 blah. So the human interaction is gone, because now we have a device that we're consistently on. And if you don't have a boyfriend, this is my boyfriend, right? So I use this device in order to do everything for me. I don't need to talk to anyone anymore, because I can do it all on here. But the communication is gone. The type of feeling is gone. You know, you're not reliant on anyone anymore. You're just reliant on this. That's what it is. You know, which is quite sad and scary, because what if that dies? Or what if, you know, you don't have that anymore? You know, it's been made for us to have as something to not only look forward to, but have to pick up and use, you know, especially excessively, you know, because if you go onto your smartphone or your smart device, you're able to see how many hours you've actually spent on there. And believe me, you'd be really scared. And you'd be saying, what the hell, are you serious? But it does. It takes up everything. It takes up your time. It takes up your life, pretty much. It's pretty much taken over everything. Especially when you actually want to meet someone as well. Or when you want to have a conversation. Somebody actually told me a story, I think it was on the long weekend, and it was in relevance to my younger nieces and nephews. And they were sitting down at a birthday. I think it was at an 18th birthday. I can't remember who actually told me. And they were all sitting down, and they had their phones in front of them, and they were all talking to each other with their phones. So they weren't even speaking to one another. Like, what is with that? People are right next to you. Put your phone down and talk to the people that are next to you. It's not hard. Just do it. Like, I don't understand why it's so hard to sit there and talk to people. Normally, you don't need your phone. Your phone's not going to save your life. You know when they used to say, last night a DJ saved my life? Last night, a phone did not save your life. Or it's not going to save your life. You are. You know, even when you walk across the road and you're on your phone, what if something happens to you? What if somebody actually runs over you and, you know, you don't even know what's going on because you're not paying attention, you know? So it's a massive issue at the moment that we're actually facing, especially with the younger generation, especially with my millennials and my next generation guys, because they don't know what we know in regards to past generations, because we never were exposed to what they've been exposed to. And that's where they need us to actually help them and try and educate them in one sense, in order for them to develop some sort of understanding upon this matter, which is, you know, how these smart devices are not really going to help them in the long run. Yes, they're great for things in regards to work, business, blah, 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 but pick up the phone. You know, they've lost their drive because they've become so lazy and reliant. You know, they don't know how to make a phone call to address a customer, for example. As you guys know, I've been in fashion retail for over 25 years. The girls, even in retail, were even scared to pick up a phone and call a customer. Like, how is that even possible? Because they don't actually converse with anyone, and they hide behind a device or a mechanism that is pretty much stopping them from interacting with this energy that is amazing, beautiful energy that they might actually realize that will help them. Even with jobs, you know, even with applying for jobs, you know, they'll never go out there and, you know, really try and talk, you know, get out of your comfort zone, do those types of things. You know, now when you're dating, and I've said this many times as well, and I know that these smart devices have, you know, limited our form of interaction with the world, because we are so reliant on them. You know, when you wake up in the morning, what do? You grab your phone, you know, who messaged me? How many likes do I have on Instagram? What are people doing? Oh, let me just go on my phone for 10 minutes. That 10 minutes becomes 3 hours. And you're like, what the hell have I been doing all this time? I literally needed to do all this work, or I was supposed to meet someone at this time, and I'm still in my bed, in my pajamas, looking through things that I wasn't intending to do. It's like a trap in one sense. It's like when you go into a boutique and you're walking through the boutique and you see things on the side, because this is what they do, especially at Australia Post, they do it as well. Sorry guys, I know it's a marketing thing and you guys want to make money, sales, I get it. Not that it's a bad thing, I'm just bringing it up. So you walk through and you notice that on each side you've got different things. So while you're actually waiting for the person to serve you, you can pick up things on the way in order for you to buy them. So it's a somewhat sales pitch, but without someone even saying anything. It's literally in front of you. And that's what happens with phones, because that's one form of sales and marketing too, which is great for businesses. It's great for us. I'm not saying that. But don't let it be the be-all to end-all in your story, because you're going to miss the best aspects in your life. You will. Because you won't have that communication with people that you're supposed to have. You won't meet those people that you're supposed to meet, because those people will slip by. Because you won't notice them, because your head will be pinned down. It'll be like this. and I'll be like, what guys, what are you talking about? Have I got a Dee Talk live tonight? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm on the phone, I'm busy, So giving that as an example. So that's not what we want. We want to actually change society. We want to change the world, and we want to make it a better place. And, we want to form that human interaction again and make these young'uns understand that they're able to talk to people as well, instead of just sitting there all together in a line, apparently, with phones and not even talking to each other properly. Oh, did you see that? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, have a conversation with each other, and it's not their fault. It's because they've been brought up in a way through into a technology sphere that has been updated in order to control their minds, right? Before, it wasn't as bad when we were growing up. It was fun, it was great, but it is quite detrimental, especially to the younger generation and to these new generations that are going to come in as well, because they're not going to be self-serving. They're going to be reliant, and they're going to need someone in order to drive them towards where they're supposed to go, because obviously they won't know, and they won't even know how to hold a conversation. This is what I'm trying to say. Or make friends when you go out. And another thing, it's hard for them when they go out because it's hard for them to meet people, whereas before we were actually forced to talk to people, and now we don't really talk to as many people because they're all so busy on their phones, But what I do, especially as I do it as a sort of working and research, right? When I go out, obviously, you have your bits and pieces of, okay, I'm going to get on my phone. But when I go out, predominantly, I go up to people and start talking to them to see how they're going to react towards me and what I've just said to them, and to see how the communication is. And if necessarily they need to be doing this or taking this or having selfies and stuff like that. We were even talking about implementing an event, because back in the days, my partner, as you guys know, used to do events. And I'm going to create one, I think, where you actually have to leave your phone at the door and you got to talk to people. I don't know how people are going to take that, but can you imagine? And we'll have a special person who will be taking live footage and media and blah, 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 blah. So they might be the actual criteria intake if you want to be part of this charity event or party that we're going to do, which is going to be explosive, by the way, which we thought would be a great experiment, So it just depends, how you perceive it, how you understand a smart device to be. Yes, it's great. I'm talking to you guys, and it's amazing how we're able to communicate with each other in this sense. But do it for the right reasons. I'm doing it to be in contact with you guys and to get a message across and to really help people and to obviously talk to you guys and spread my love and support, because that's exactly what you guys do with me. And because I run a business, it's exceptionally perfect for what we need it for, so yeah, it just depends. Everyone's going to have their own opinion. I just think that it's something that we really need to look into and try and change in one sense, and get it all out there. It's scary, especially in restaurants. I've seen a lot of them, okay, so a lot of people that are next to each other possibly and having dinner, but they're on their phones. Exactly, because that's to do with the wrong type of etiquette that people have and how they've been taught, But in a lot of cases, it's not them, it's the parents. And that's a massive topic that we'll be talking about next week on this Dee on the Streets. You guys better be ready for it. It's going to be amazing. I cannot wait to see everybody that has booked in for dinner as well. We've got heaps of people coming down next week, so I'm really excited. that have told me they're coming down, they're booking in for dinner to watch and pretty much have an amazing night with us at Eleni's. And yeah, even if you guys want to have a drink, you don't have to have dinner, come down, say hello to me. I'll really appreciate it. I love you so much. Thank you again to everyone for joining me on Dee Talk Live tonight. It's been a blast. Again, thank you to all of our collaboration partners, our support networks, everyone that's getting involved in the creation of the new segments that are coming on board within the next few weeks, and awesome big announcements to come within the next couple of months. I'm so excited. If I sound a bit like Gonzo tonight, it's because I have really bad allergies. The hay fever season for me is in and out, so I do apologize. I hope you guys have a magnificent evening. I will see you guys on Monday for another Dee Love Talk. I think we're actually doing a Dee Sex Talk. It's the 4th one in the installment of that series as part of Dee Love Talk. So please get on board, come and join us. We'd love to have you. And thank you again so much for joining us tonight on Dee Talk Live. I love you so much. Sending you love and light, many blessings. Remember, keep the positive vibration up. You know, the world is changing for a better. Love you guys. Have an amazing evening, guys. We will see you again.